my channel. This is Shreya, and today there's a little change in the backdrop because I'm sitting in my living room and I have given this space a little makeover some time back. If you haven't checked that video out, please do. It is by far my favorite video on this channel. I'll link it somewhere here on the screen. Last week I was a little under the weather and I still am, so I wanted to keep it very light and very easy for me. So I picked up projects which are like super easy and super fun to do and not at all time consuming. Now there are two types of clay that you can use. One is the polymer clay and another one is the air dry clay. Polymer clay is the one that needs to be baked in the oven in order to harden it up, and air dry clay, as the name suggests, it air dries, does not require baking. You just need to leave it for 48 hours or so in order to dry it up completely. So yeah, today we are going to use air dry clay and we are going to make some fun things. You can make these with your kids, or you can also use it to decorate your house, of course. People will really enjoy it, take my word for that. It is really therapeutic to do. And yes, without any further delay, let's get started.
So we are creating a flower vase. I honestly wanted to make it look like a modern flower vase, but it kind of turned into a tribal vase, which is not my style. But anyway, you might get some ideas here and turn it into something that's more of your style. So I took this shuttle cork ka dabba. It has a cap on both sides. Then I kind of cut it into my desired length. You may want to use a cutter for this step, but knife worked perfectly fine for me. Took this paper and cut it to make it look like forehead and a nose. I folded it in half to keep it symmetrical. Now that our stencil is ready, I am taking this air dry clay. It comes in a package like this. I will link it down below for you. You can buy it from Amazon if you want. If there is a leftover, you can store it in a polythene. I just took some of the clay out and I'm just going to flatten it. I did not have rolling pin with me, so I used this dabba only to flatten it. You can use a can or anything that you might have. When the clay was all ready, I cut the clay with the stencil on the top using the cutter. Here I am making a mixture of clay and water. It's called slip in technical terms. You can fix the crevices using this mixture. Trying to fix all the imperfections here. Now it's time to fix the clay on the vase. I'm using glue and applying it all over the clay. Be very careful when you pick the clay because it might develop cracks like mine did. Once it's properly stuck, I am using the water clay mixture and trying to merge the clay to the dabba from all the corners. Here I am just making the lips. Left it for drying for 48 hours. It is the recommended time for air dry clay to completely dry up. This was my first time with air dry clay, so one thing that I learned and I wanted to share is that air dry clay shrinks after drying. So if there are any cracks that you didn't pay attention to before, वो cracks बड़े हो जाएंगे सूखने के बाद and दिखने लग जाएंगे. तो मेरे साथ ऐसा ही हुआ था इस नोज़ वाले एरिया में. I didn't want to redo it all over again. तो बस ये ध्यान रखना है कि क्ले को उठाते टाइम be very careful and don't break it from anywhere. And once it was all dried out, I spray painted it black. Now my plan was to leave it all black and it would have looked like a modern vase, but the spray paint that I had was a glossy one. I'm not a fan of glossy finish, so it didn't look great to me. I finally painted it white and it took 2 coats. So this is how it turned out, and as I said, I wasn't happy, but I still wanted to share it with you so that you can just get an idea on how you can create your very own flower vase with just clay and shuttle ka dabba. The next two DIYs are very small ones. I took this inspiration from one of the DIY YouTubers, Tina Lay. She made it in her video and I found it extremely easy yet very stylish, so I thought I'll give it a try. I took this clay and clay को थोड़ा सा thick रखा है मैंने. I cut it into a triangular shape. You can cut it in any shape you want. I'm also using water clay mixture to flatten the base so that it can easily stand. The plan is to make it look like a stone, so it does not need to be perfect. Now I'm taking an ice cream stick and I am creating a little slit in the middle. Since airdry clay shrinks after drying, उस slit को थोड़ा बड़ा बना रही हूँ मैं. So this slit is basically to hold the photograph. Also created one round one with the same process. I left them for drying for around 48 hours and उसके बाद I colored it. I got this gold leaf from Amazon. I will link it down. It looks something like this. Here I'm taking some Mod Podge. आप कोई भी glue ले सकते हो and I'm just creating a little layer of glue on the top. फिर मैं ये gold foil को थोड़ा थोड़ा surface पे लगा दूंगी and it makes it look so pretty. I'm not sure what is the right way to do it, but this seemed to work fine. It's a very inexpensive way to put your photographs on display on the table or cabinet. Next up is the candle holder. I took the clay and rolled it on the surface till I got the perfect round shape. Then I took black pepper, yani kali mirch, and I am just going to pour it all over the floor. Now I'll just roll the clay all over the kali mirch. This sounds funny, but it gives a really nice and unique texture to the clay. I am taking this tapered candle and I will just insert the candle to the clay so that it can take up the shape of the candle base. I just left it for drying for 48 hours and that was all. Keeping these type of tapered candles on dining table or on your shelves just elevate the look of the entire space. So you can definitely get some of those and try this DIY out as well.
Hi, it's me again. So I hope you guys liked today's video, and as I said, very simple and very therapeutic to do. So please do try it out at your home, and if you do, please tag me in your photos on Instagram or just email me. I would love to see your recreation, and do subscribe to this channel if you haven't already. मतलब कर लो यार, पैसे तो नहीं लग रहे हैं. Okay, bye. I'll see you next week.